Hi folks, bit of a showery day today, sunshine and showers. I'm going to do a knife painting, well, haven't done one for a while. So I use just either one of these lovely little, there is my finger, quite small, make sure we're focused in. So I'll draw a rough design. Now, you are a bit limited with knife painting. This is quite a small size, it's 10 inches by 8 inches. And you need a palette that is very smooth, I think. Otherwise, if you're scraping your paint over a mountainous area like this, with my other palette, or one of them, just a bit of plywood. This is a bit of MDF. But here, it wouldn't be a very good way to mix the paint. So we put it aside. So I'm tempted to do a rock painting, but I don't know. We could do cottage on the coast again, but I've done that, but not in knife with a knife or knives. Or we could do a Saltmarsh, which I love doing. So let's do a Saltmarsh. Looking inland, I suppose. So let's draw a horizon really low. Make sure it's horizontal, more or less, and then we can put some hills in the background, and we can put some trees on here, and then we can put a bit of a that's not that too centered, so that'll just be a bit of the tide coming in with grasses, marsh grass, a bit of a field. So that's all I'm going to do with the drawing. Right, okay, here we go. Sky. So work from the top and work downwards. So we've got this Griffin titanium white mixing with a Winton white. So let's mix up a nice sky colour. Good, well mixed. We don't have to, but knock up enough for your initial lay-in. There we are. Let's start at the top. Can put some clouds in a minute. Then we go right to the edge because it's got to go in a frame for display purposes. And you don't be sticking to the rebate in the frame. I'm leaving the spaces for some more colours, some clouds or whatever. You can make it as thick and thin as you like. Bear in mind that paint is expensive and you can use a lot of paint doing this. So let's get some colour in there. That's a red. Be prepared to paint over your edges of your drawing. It's all very flexible. A bit of yellow in there. Just try to make your sky a bit interesting by having quite a bit of variety in your tones, colours. Don't want too much of the underpainting or the ground colour showing through. We can moderate all this. Knives do wear out because you can see what happens is constantly scraping, and when you clean them with your paper, I've got a couple of little pads here made from my kitchen paper. Be very careful not to drag the knife through your fingers, because eventually it will get razor sharp. So that's how I didn't warn you. Someone contacted me on YouTube asking me about what hakes do I use. Well, I only use one type of hake or manufacturer, and that's the Ron Ranson hake. Hold on. They're just the 45mm and the 1/2 that size, or probably about an inch, 25mm. Just two, that's all I use. But I'm not into watercolour painting at the moment. I'm into oil painting. I love oil painting. Get some grey in there now. I'll tell you what my colours are anyway. I've sort of sorted this out. Don't want to go too heavy with the colour. Remember those old enough, Nancy Kaminsky on American TV. I've got a book of hers somewhere. I don't know where. I didn't buy it new. I bought it second hand. She was very, very good. Very basic, but lovely. It was lovely to watch. But she would mix all her colours up beforehand. Nice sort of bit of greys. Just bring that horizon down a bit. I'm just getting the paint on at the moment. I can refine it in a minute when I've just got the horizon down as far as I want it. You are limited in range of brush stroke or knife strokes with such a small board or whatever you're using. Watercolour paper, prime watercolour paper. Oh, let's get a little bit of ochre in there. It's a nice colour that going on there now. Okay, now let's get a nice off-white. Being right-handed, everything's coming that way. Oh, we've got plenty of colour in that. So a bit darker. Don't want to use Payne's grey. I'm going to save that for my greens. Just a bit of cloud shadow. Okay, well, we'll let that go. That's a sky, isn't it? It's obvious that's a sky. Not one of the best that I've ever done. I'm always very much influenced by skies that I see outside my loft light windows. Now I'm using my Logitech webcam for all this. It's good because I can stop and make a cup of tea, but it does go. The screen does go blank, and I think that's because it goes into screensaver. So I have to be careful what I press. It's so easy to stop the video, which is rather defeats the objective of having the webcam. But I can actually pause it and record and then start it up again. What's that? Yeah, well, that's okay. Let's just try to take everything out to fill in the gaps. Don't fit everything in between the two parameters. Now this is getting a little bit tacky now because of the Griffin colour I've used in titanium white. So we've got cadmium red, ultramarine, Payne's grey which I haven't used, burnt sienna, viridian to brighten up the horizon, to make greens, cadmium yellow and yellow ochre. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You don't need to use 7 colours. It's quite a lot for me, but let's just try to get some sort of interest there. Okay, now we're going to go for a nice bluey mauve horizon. Ultra. Sort of a bit of green to that, bit of that. Okay, so let's go more blue. So if my head's in the way. I'm always thinking of the, I suppose you call them South Downs, when you're looking at it from the sea inward, looking at the hilly landscape, or slightly hilly landscape around Chichester, which is a place I love. These are rolling hills rather than mountains. So that would be all flat there. We can get some trees in there, some summer green trees. Right, green. Right, okay, now we're going to put in some, let's just scrape some of that off. Okay, now we want some nice summer green, so yellow, viridian, blue, red. Viridian is a lively colour, isn't it? Beautiful. Oh, let's start here. Try to keep the tones, the contrasts going. A bit of shadow in there. Oh, my head, so I'm sure it's in the way. Bit of white. I'll put some dark in there as well, but let's just get them in. Let's change the yellows. Right, let's get some contrast in there now. Blue, red, yellow. Blue, red, yellow. You don't really need the viridian, but I will use it in this foreground. I want that green, not black. There's some lovely dark greens with the red and the blue and the yellow. This is cadmium yellow pale. Okay, let's get a bit of warm in some of them. Okay, well that's all right. So let's get a little bit more light on there. Right, well that's catching the light, so we're going to put some dark green in front of that, I think. Darkish green. So viridian, yellow, red, just to modify it. Right, we want some light in there now. Right, the screen's gone blank. So as far as I'm concerned, it's still recording. If not, I shall scrap it. Get the colours in for the incoming tide. Trying to brighten some of it up now. Makes a bit of burnt sienna in with this because it's the marsh grasses. Once we've covered the ball, we can scrape bits off of it and bits darker. Just get the paint on. We've got to have a bit of shadowy colour. To mix a bit of blue with that to burnt sienna. So we've got to shadow the reeds. Oh, let's get a bit of green in there now. A bit of dark green, so right, small paper. You waste a lot of paint with this method. A lot of it stays on your palette, a lot of it ends up in your lap if you're not careful. It's a messy job. take some shadow down, or reflection, shall I say. Just that going into the distance. So we have a nice bit of green here. I'm working bright. I'm not using any reference material. Just want to get some. Use a bit of that Payne's clay. Put these greens in. But now we want really good light for the stalks of the grass. We are creating original art. Might not be very good art, but I still need to get that darker in that shadowy area here. No, I don't much about with that, doing that. So we carry that line across there. Okay, we'll put it in a minute. There's not much more I can do to it. There's a lot of paint on it. I'll just, so let's, what happens if I touch the screen?